I'll be calling you a radical. Sorry about that. Spam likely. So back to the energy complex. See, they've tore out the nesting ground, so these geese who've nested here for millions of years in this natural wetland are having to find alternative places. They're nesting on tops of buildings all over. So back to the end. Here we go. Get them F-35s. Oh, wings. We will pretend the colony here. What is the United States? We're nothing but the imperialist, global imperialist, old world order military colony. I mean, we will give life, limb, liberty, firstborn to support oligarchy. Pop, pop, oh, up, he dropped, they never stopped. The war complex is so out of control, it's unbelievable. They're nesting on roofs. I mean, they have to. If it's not just the drought, I declared the drought over 2 years ago. I'm the guy that named the drought. So, the wetlands, the land developers were all giddy and happy when the lake was going drier and drier and drier. More land to develop. I could prove that. Farmington Station out there, I was part of the committee on the Legacy Highway. The Legacy Highway negotiated a deal, nothing west of Legacy Highway. You know, Farmington Station, all that building that's gone all over out there. You know, I was out there at the soccer game the other day. Right there where we stand was under 10 feet of water in the 80s. So, let's walk over here. What did they do? Because legally you couldn't anything west. Do you know the legislature in Utah who are so insane it's unbelievable? The most ignorant people on the face of the planet. Ignorant, selfish people will elect ignorant, selfish leaders. I'm Balco. I'm Chemo. Till they change what West is. West's not West in Utah. You see all the development up there. I told my grandkids, I says, now you remember this, I'll probably be dead and gone. You remember this. Years from now, I told you. And when this happens, the wet cycle's already started again. The heat dome that was caused by, I believe, by the Fukushima disaster, just another coincidence, 2011, which shifted up over Canada. I could see it shifting. So I knew the drought was most likely over. I'm the guy that named the drought in 2011 before it happened, the greatest drought in 2011, the great Western North America heat dome. People don't want the truth. They can't handle the truth. They're caught up in freaking all kinds of fairy tale shit. So let's come over here. This is a geothermal under here. So this is all geothermal we're walking on. Sure isn't nuclear. You know how much pork has been forced down our throat for nuclear since Pop Olapi dropped? That psychopath, psycho freak. When even Leo Lazar, who wrote the letter, said don't do it. I mean, I still can't get over it, how Robert Downey Jr. wins the prize, the Oscar, and he holds it the exact to the second, the greatest the greatest disaster environmentally in human history. To the second on the 13th anniversary. To the second Fukushima. That's the old football post when we had the hurricane. Remember I videoed it? It snapped it off. The old goalposts. They left it. So, this is all geothermal right here. All geothermal I'm walking on right now. So, the sun. We can walk. I mean, does it really matter on view count? It's like when they've captured academia. Come on. They completely, I remember talking to Mitt Romney right there. God, that dude is a piece of work, ain't he? Well, what about this nuclear? What about Fukushima? You know, he tells me, well, you know, I like the sun. We should all be the sun. He won't talk Fukushima. I mean, I asked Mike Lee right there. What about Fukushima? I'll talk to Wyden and I'll get you right back to you on Monday. That was well over 10 years ago. These are puppets. Don't you get this? These are puppets controlled by these oligarch special interests. There's nothing easier to get rich in this country. Ask not what I can do for my country. Ask what I can loot from my country. The easiest way to get fucking rich in America? Real easy. Government pork. I mean, draw a freaking SMR nuclear reactor on a napkin. Give it to freaking Warren Buffett's best friend, Bill Gates, you know, or Jose Reyes up there at Idaho National Lab, and go to the Utah taxpayer, go to the federal government, and they'll send you fucking billions and trillions and trillions. They'll do it, even though there's no such thing. And that's what they've done. So California producing more solar than they can fucking use, which I've been screaming that for years. We don't fucking need any new technologies. You see these fucking morons still babbling this like they were having this conversation in 1976 when Jimmy Carter put fucking solar panels on the house. And I love all this, and we're going to go, oh God. I see some guy the other day says, we're on the verge of going back to a 1970 economy. We wish. Let's think about the 1970s. One parent working 40 hours a week. Everybody had plenty of money. We're talking families that have 4 or 5 fucking kids. We didn't have to live in a fucking big. I mean, I was a stucco guy for all those years, and everybody started building these McMansions. And you go into them, and these overcompensation freaks who are, you know, I got my whole theory on that. I think a lot of it's physical appearance, overcompensation. But anyway, I know it is. So, lack of confidence. You go into these houses, I would do all this restoration work, and all the rooms were empty, these giant empty McMansions. People didn't build McMansions. We were talking about this right over here. The richest neighborhoods in Utah were right over here. These beautiful boutique fucking houses built. Craftsmen, incredible. They're not very big houses. But people had plenty of money in the 1970s. They had tons of money in the 1970s. 40 hours a week, one couple working, freedom, happiness, art. Just start pulling up videos. See what people look like in the 1970s. We know the number one freaking cause of obesity and all these physical problems. Environmental toxins, oh yeah, but number one is financial stress. People are freaking stressed out of their minds. I wonder why. Oh, God forbid we go back to the 70s when the working class had all the power, when the fucking tax rate on the 1% were 99%. We can't have that. Oh, I'm Jamie Dimon. Dear God, no, we might go back. And then here's Trump, which is Biden's twin. God, ain't they a couple senile old freaking weirdos? Sleepy Joe versus Sleepy Don. Oh my God, between the two of them. Talk about Comedy Central. You don't even know. Just watch both their statements. They're old and senile. And Trump's got Big Mac brain. And so Biden's just old and senile. And the tax rate in the 70s was 1%. You know, when we were having these conversations on solar energy, it was happening. We can store solar energy for freaking months. And why do you need to? Let me tell you something. Tell me the last time that Nevada or the Great Mojave Desert or this desert even here in Utah, I mean, we get inversion here, I guess. Tell me in SoCal, in Nevada, in Arizona, the last time that the sun didn't shine for, a month at a time. I'll tell you when. The year 416, or was that 418? Krakatoa. Okay, and if we get another Krakatoa, the least of your fucking worries energies. The sun always fucking shines. We have the ability to store it fucking plenty because there's no money in fucking solar. Oh, there's a byproduct on these solar panels. Well, no shit. That's all solar. Those are all solar charge stations. But guess what? Guess who that's for? Oh, yeah, fucking overpaid, fucking sorry-ass, shitty professors who suck, by the way. I can prove it. The number one school business will walk up here to that I taught at. I was a student professor, anti-nukers. By the way, we were pro-tariff guys. We were Hamiltonians. And our sister school was Wharton. You can hear that come out of Trump. He catches little pieces from his education because I think he went about once every 2 weeks to a class. And I don't know who took his test, whatever. No, I took my own test. And so, but Tariffs was a big thing in this country, you know, because I go back to the Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, because I'm related to the Hamilton, the act before the Declaration of Independence, the Tariff Act, to pay off wartime debt and to incentivize making homemade goods. But it has to be broad-based. It has to be across the board. You can't just pick and choose what you like and you don't like politically, geopolitically. Once you start wearing them Trump women's shoes, there were no tariffs. Remember when he got outed on his suits? He's talking tariffs. And was it Letterman went over there and says, "Oh, look at this." I mean, because these guys are liars. They just bow. It's like the nuclear industry. You mean through the B 18 times? We saw what happened to Abby, tomato. You know, so the sun. I've been screaming this for years. States politically, like Utah, block it from coming. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. We were safe proven. Well, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, if you would let people, individuals, and their businesses, whoever, to sell unlimited into the grid, put a fee on it, pay for freaking infrastructure. The so-called global warming and the energy, it's over. They know that it's over. It's over overnight. I mean, it's over. These Freudian goats here in Utah who worship the golden calf, I never see anybody worship money like these guys do. They worship it. They'll trade their, if you could go to the average Utah here, and, well, this is Americano, and you says, hey, here's the deal. What are you, 28 years old, 29. We'll give you $5 million right here, right now, but you're going to die at 60, which is sawing off, you know, at least 30% of your life. You got to make the choice. Which they would all take the $5 million because they think they've been hypnotized into worshiping the golden calf. So if you were able to sell back, these people, these homeowners, they would have solar panels on their churches, on their chicken coops, like they, on their doghouse. They would have all their kids. They would be having so many kids, it was unbelievable. Say, well, God, they would say, hey, here, strap a solar panel with you kids. You kids get out there in the yard and make sure you bend over and run around all day. Guaranteed, all day, every day they would do it. So it's people are so gone in their heads. They will fight you and argue with you and say, there's no way on a cloudy day. They're full of shit. The desert here, it's like when you're in Europe. They look at here in Europe and they're like, we've been to the United States. We've been to southern Utah. That's the only place they go. The Europeans come, they go to New York, which I don't blame them. It's one cool ass place. They go to southern Utah to the, radioactive downwinder complex, the national parks. Incredible place. And they see it's just hot and the sun shines all day, every day. They look at a map and they say, this giant desert. They're like, it's a no-brainer. We don't have a desert like this in Europe. And it's a no-brainer. What's the matter with you people? Just solar panels. And yeah. Why? I'm like, you don't understand the geopolitics. I remember being in Austria and when I went to Bath and they gave me the award there. I got an award there for my anti-nuclearism years ago. And I'm standing there. Gave me some champagne, the whole 9 yards. 2015, right about the anniversary of Waterloo 200. And the head of Greenpeace, the only time I was really ever riding a car, one of the few times in Europe. And we're talking about Greenpeace. I said, no, you don't understand. Greenpeace is totally hijacked here. Greenpeace is good over there. Me and her had this conversation. She couldn't wrap her mind around it. So a couple years later, she comes here and gets involved. She says, oh my God, I can't believe it. You were right. I didn't listen to you. Your Greenpeace here is completely a sellout. They're the most greenwashing organization. I says, I told you. I mean, Angela Merkel's a nuclear physicist. Look what they do in Denmark. It's dark 6 months a year. It's a no-brainer here. But these political puppets, they just get led around. Because, well, number one, they're pathetically ignorant. I mean, how many of them? I've interviewed all of them, every one of them, you know. And the answer is to kettle me, Kevin Blanche. You know, the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. Fukushima, Fukushima, Fukushima. So right here, the number one school of business that I used to teach at, right here, who's under investigation by the FBI. You gonna flip your soup can? Yeah, maybe. So, my class right there was. So, the sun's the answer. Solar, 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 solar. So, here comes the sun. It's always been the answer. It's like wind in Europe. Ha! You know how long they've been using wind in the Netherlands for energy? Thousands of years. It's a no-brainer. The school of business here was number one. I used to do the due diligence. Wattis, the CEO of GE. Yeah. Under investigation from the FBI. Out of order. Oh boy, is it out of order. Oh, is it out of order. Oh, is it out of fucking order. The nuclear complex is so out of order, it's insane. And you heard me talk to that puppet Curtis. What a moron. And then I was talking to the Utah Power, which is Rocky Mountain Power now's puppet, their spokesperson. He was arguing, same regurgitation reader. I said, what about Fukushima? That was an old react. What are you talking about? I mean, they're just insane. Because these lobbyists write this narrative for them, and they just stay with it. So, what a campus, huh? Oh boy, what a campus. So let's see if we can get our reflect. Oh yeah. Pop, pop, oh, up he dropped. He never stopped. There's Basin right there. God, how about that video I got the other day of the F-35 flying right through the center of the full moon, rising right up there over the mighty Mount on, for whom the bell tolls. Pop, pop, oh, up he dropped. Should be a picture of Buffett and Gates being there standing with me with their arm around me. They made me go golfing, the school did with them. I don't play golf. Golf's for kids and young people. And I'd take 5 showers when I got home. There used to be a picture of Warren Buffett with his arm around me in Omaha, right there inside there. Warren Buffett stole this school business. It was Warren Buffett who stole it when they bought R.C. Willey's and donated. I said, don't take that money. And now they're in investigation from worse, well, from first to worst. Number one school business in the United States when I was the guy. What they did to me, stand up to these freaks. Pop, pop, oh, hoppy drop. For whom the bell tolls. So anyway. What a campus. What a path. You gonna flip your soup can? Yeah. So the picture of him, he's standing like that right there. When he came in here in 98, I knew what he was up to. That's when this whole thing was going. Dr. Cooley'd have none of it. It's like, oh no, we're the number one school business. We got a brand new MBA. I walk in there, where's Dr. Cooley? Didn't you hear? 2 weeks before the MBA starts, the number one. He gets a virus in his brain out of nowhere and just kills him. And I'm like, I asked ask Lee. I used to ask Lee all the time, "What'd you put in his tea?" They always creeped me out. They all did. And then the woman who took over my thing, remember she advised students and Utah legislators to not go see the Dalai Lama. Brad Wilson's running for the Senate. He was part of that group. He's at least later apologized. He's always so wrong. Number one school business a public entity beating Wharton. Elon Musk was going to Wharton at the time. Remember when I had you buying all that Tesla stock in 2011? I had 30,000 shares when I IPO'd. What happened? I got cancer. I got hit by the train. It's like Neil Waters got hit. Just like the CEO of Exelon. Just like all these people. I mean, the school could have paid for it. They didn't. Because I'm the anti-nuclear. I did the due diligence, the water school. This is the merger of Utah Construction and General Electric. That's the CEO. It's named after. So is that School of Art. They blackballed me and went after me so viciously hard for standing up to it, and I was right. Stand up for the truth. So they're producing more electricity than they can use, as Kevin Lentz has been reporting for years. But it's all geopolitics. And the geopolitical atmosphere around here is absolutely insane. It doesn't matter how many people walk Tuesday. Because the contemporary sheep, I've learned my lesson well. They're not going to do anything. I have a tale to tell. A man could tell 1,000 lies. That's all they do is lie. Lie for their freaking puppetry and their freaking hairspray. Their masquerade party. The truth is the truth. 2 plus 2 is still 4. One nuclear meltdown at Chernobyl is not more than 3 at Fukushima. 2 plus 2 is still 3. You go on with puppetry all you want. Like freaks. Not me. I'm not playing. Drop your soup can. Drop your dry cats container. Pop up. He dropped. They never stopped. Nuclear renaissance. No, there's nothing but a nuclear pork renaissance. The sun. The sun. The sun. The sun. I ain't gonna quit you. How about all those people that tried to tee me up? Me and Finnegan was talking about it last night. Oh, what fools. You know? What fools. You know, amazing what people will lie and freaking the puppetry there for their political dogma. Give me dogma or give me death. Well, dogma is death. So, the sun, the sun, the sun. Here comes the sun. Stand tuned.